Hey, how you doing? That's a negative.
Good evening to you.
Guilty! We are living in the last days of the last age of mankind! Repent your wickedness and atone in these your last hours!
I don't care. I need to find him so he can find him. It's 250 grand of my money on the line here. Look, I'll talk to you later, okay? Let me know if you hear anything about either.
You're listening to The Depth of Night. The only girl who will spend the night with you and leave first thing in the morning, guaranteed. Well, looks like the boards are lighting up. Aren't I the popular one?
Hello there. How you been? Welcome to Kilpatrick 24-hour bail bonds. My name's Arthur Kilpatrick. How can I help you? Yep, sure do. I'm a third-generation bondsman. Got a few employees, but I handle most every aspect of the business. I gotta have a few other bondsmen to keep the place open 24 hours, plus a bounty hunter. I pull the graveyard shift because that's when all the crazy shit happens in Santa Monica. You betcha. I used to do some bounty hunting back in the day. Takes a good solid set of brass balls. Pardon the expression, Missy, but it takes balls to be a good bounty hunter.
You're on The Depth of Night. Be gentle.
I am.
Hello, caller.
I am.
Is tonight a rerun?
Yep, damn good. His name's Carson, and he's great at what he does when he wants to do it. I can't seem to find him now, though. He's pissing me off, to be honest. I need him to go find someone.
Gomez, what's the latest conspiracy?
Conspiracy? This goes beyond conspiracy, okay? There's no word for something as devious and...
Well, I don't feel right cutting Carson loose just yet. We go way back. I knew his father, too. Tell you what, since I'm stuck here, why don't you go look for him? Just real quick. I'll pay you for your time. Great. I suppose the first place you should look is his apartment in Santa Monica Suites. Apartment 1, I think it is. Maybe you'll find something there to let you know where he's got himself to. Here's a key card. That'll let you in. Sure, honey. What is it? Yeah, they're saying there was a murder down by the pier, just like the one the other day down in Long Beach. Just vicious. Tore 'em up. They're saying it's a serial killer. Well, typically when things like this happen, the cops ratchet up the patrols and start hauling in more suspicious types. Could be good for me. Sure, honey, what is it?
And the American people, the people of Earth, you people, cannot let this happen. It's Mool versus Atlantis all over again.
Thank you, Gomez, and that concludes the news portion of the show. Well, this girl's got to pay her bills, so it's time for a few commercials. But don't go anywhere. I'm just getting warmed up. Should I say, hot?
Friggin' Chicken recently challenged several random people to a taste test between Friggin' Chicken and the other leading chicken-flavored products. Let's listen for which one they preferred.
Ma'am, care to participate in a taste test? Here, try this leading brand of chicken.
Oh my gosh! Is that week old fish?
Now, try this.
Oh, this is some good chicken. What is this?
Sir, take a test for me?
Sure. Seriously, do all these up yet?
Here, try this one.
Hey.
Motherfucking great chicken right there. What is this?
It's friggin' chicken.
This is cat, right? Are you feeding me cat?
Try this.
Holy fuck. Fuck, that's good. What the fuck is this shit? 9 out of 10 people preferred friggin' chicken over the competition. Why?
'Cause that's some good fucking chicken. I mean, friggin' chicken.
Friggin' chicken, you'll swear it's the best you've ever had. You love the talking baby movie, and the talking pig, and even the talking car in that show. You know the one I'm talking about. But now prepare for the most hilarious talkingest normally mute object yet. He's Steve Cash, a New York banker and recent whittler down on his luck.
And 10 makes 100. Here's your money, ma'am.
Man, I happen to have a glandular problem. That's it. I'm withdrawing.
Hurry on your way to the apocalypse! Always room for heathens in the cold and oily pits of the damned!
What's the hops, bro?
Need a fix? Now that you let that one go, I have to go out and find someone else to fill the chair. But it's kind of chilly out, and now that my co-pilot's been devoured, I'm flying solo. I need a new body. Find another donor and I'll whip up a fresh batch. The bitch who owns me and this place runs the asylum. Lots of young, stupid blood there. Not like the putrid, stinking, vagrant blood we so often get. Don't shed any at the club, though. No. The missus, she don't appreciate it.
I told you, I will get to you when I can. Please take a seat. If I could only rest for a second. Lovely evening. Hey. How's it going? You, looking to buy or sell or... Oh, damn it, who told you that? Alright, look, I can't have every Jesse and Jamie off the street, coming in here and asking about this. It's not cool. I'm not exactly licensed, and these weapons aren't precisely legal, if you catch my drift here. Look, now, I appreciate your business, and I'll sell to you, but don't tell anyone else, okay? Keep your nose clean. All right. Come and take a look, then.
A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard after their attempts to hail the ship proved futile. Coast Guard officials are releasing very little information right now, but have identified the vessel as the Elizabeth Dane. No word as of yet as to the whereabouts of the crew. Though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the Elizabeth Dane to assist them in their search. We'll have more on the story as it breaks. In other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as torn apart, though details are being withheld from the public at this time. Police are tuning in with information relating to this case to contact them. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the Negative Zero star emerged unscathed and apparently unfazed by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that the studio is not pursuing legal action against Rivers for the trademark gate's destruction. Miraculously, this is the second crash Rivers has escaped unharmed in the last year. Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard after their attempts to hail the ship proved futile. Coast Guard officials are releasing very little information right now, but have identified the vessel as the Elizabeth Dane. No word as of yet as to the whereabouts of the crew, though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the Elizabeth Dane to assist them in their search. We'll have more on this story as it breaks. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning.
Dr. Todd, I'll be operating, please. Dr. Todd, I'll be operating. Dr. Bethel, the operator. Dr. Bethel, the operator.
A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the Negative Zero star emerged unscathed and apparently unfazed by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that the studio is not pursuing legal action against Rivers for the trademark gate's destruction. Miraculously, this is the second crash Rivers has escaped unharmed in the last year. Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard.
Check. Is this thing recording? God, I hate these things. Anyway, the McGee case is getting weirder all the time. I found where he's been hiding and I saw some really creepy stuff down there. There was no sign of McGee. I'm gonna follow up on another lead I got too. I updated the files on the computer. This is Carson signing off. Man, that sounds stupid.
Fight it! We are living in the last days of the last age of mankind! Repent your wickedness and atone in these your last hours!
Hello? Might I speak with Mr. McGee? Well, I'm not sure. I had an appointment with him a few days ago, but he never seemed to show up. Do you know when he'll return? Well, Mr. McGee was going to be doing some modeling for me. Medical reference for the work that I do here in the studio. It's a shame, really. The proposition would have been quite lucrative for him. You are? Isn't that a coincidence? Why are you looking for him? Oh, I see. I'd be delighted to. Why don't you come down to my office and we'll talk about it? I'm at the end of Main Street, small basement studio. The sign says Gimbel's Prosthetics. Just ring the buzzer and I'll let you in.
Hello, welcome to Gimbel's Prosthetics and Medical Supplies. You're here about the missing Mr. McGee, am I right? Oh, yes, forgive me, my name is Gimbel, Stanley Gimbel. But, oh dear, let us dispense with formalities. You can call me Stan. Oh, right. Mr. McGee. Well, as I told you, he was supposed to show up a few days ago for a photography session. Reference for my work, that kind of thing. No, he didn't. Earlier, I had asked him to take a few pictures of himself for my perusal. A sort of resume, you might say. And that was the last I'd heard of him. Carson? No. I don't think so, anyway. Oh, look. I know I've got some information on Mr. McGee back in my files. Do you want me to try and dig it up? Don't mention it. Just wait here a moment, and I'll be right along. Oh, you have such beautiful arms. I absolutely must have them.
Out of here, man. This guy's a freaking nut job. Who, Gimbal? Yeah, Gimbal. That guy's been taking pieces off of me and McGee over here for the last 3 days. He's crazy, man. Freaking crazy.
What are you doing here?
Thanks, man. You're a lifesaver. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. I'm telling you, I've been on some weird cases, but this one takes the cake. Yeah, that's me. How did you know? He did? Oh man, that's solid. I owe that guy big. I hope I can figure out a way to get him back for this. What? Oh no, man. No, not for me anymore. Look at my hand. Gimbal took my trigger finger for a trophy. I'm all through with this business. I hate to leave Arthur in a lurch, but that's just the way it is. Thanks again. Don't worry, I'll take care of old Stumpy here.
Hello, L.A. You're up way past your bedtime.
What's shaking?
Hope you've slipped into something comfortable. I know I have.
What?
If you're new to town,
Ain't
it's a
coming
serious
back? What do you mean he ain't coming back?
The Deb of Night. The only girl who will spend the night with you and me first.
Man, that's a tough one. Bounty hunter ain't no good without his trigger finger. Well, hell, that really leaves me in hot water, boy. Gonna cost old Arthur real good.
Caller, you've got the first shot at Deb tonight. So, who do I have?
I got this guy with a sheet a mile long, put in on 3 warrants. His girlfriend put up for the bond, and now he missed the court date. I can't get in touch with either of them. Want a job? Well, it won't be much of a job since you ain't licensed and all, but until I can get me another bounty hunter, I need you to find out if this guy skipped town or what.
I used to do a little yachting myself. What brand of yacht do you have?
Yeah, no body attachment or nothing. Just find out if he's here or where he went. I'll pay you. Deal? Great, all right. The guy's name is Mike Durbin. Goes by the name Muddy. His girlfriend put up for his bond. She lives over there above Tripp's pawn shop. Her name is Marion Murrieta, but I haven't been able to get in touch with her.
Caller number 3. What's keeping you?
Well, he was brought up on manslaughter charges years back, but he got acquitted. Since then, he's been in and out for this and that. Small-time stuff, mostly.
Hello, Gomez. What's the latest conspiracy?
Most recently, he was brought in as part of a big case on stolen auto parts. It's this big chop shop thing that's going on in Santa Monica. Been in the paper.
You've got our undivided attention.
That's right. Marianne Murrieta. In them crappy places above the pawn shop. Find out where the hell Muddy is, where is he going, whatever. But be careful. You're not licensed, and if anything bad goes down, I don't know you. You hear me? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Here you are. All right, come back when you got some info. Thanks in advance. Sure, honey, what is it? Hey there, hot stuff. Sure, honey, what is it?
What do we have here? Another scrumptious young plaything straight out of life and into my club? You smell new, little girl, like fabric softener dew on freshly mowed AstroTurf. Oh, I'm not frightening you, am I, duckling? I'm the finger down your spine when all the lights are out, and the name on all the men's room walls. When I pout, the whole world tries to make me smile, and everyone always wants to know who is that girl. I am Jeanette, and this bit of chaos crammed in a certifiable giggle is my club. I just love to give you funny feelings all night, sweetheart, but I really must trouble with some business. We'll reunite sweet and soon, I promise.
Last time I looked, it was called Santa Monica, not stuck-up dicks. Oh, God. I can't even look at you sometimes. Oh, please. You really drew kind of flattering portrait of me with your turn-of-the-century vibe. I always assumed you could do nothing but look down on me. Just the sight of you. The sight of that wicked, tainted house, concealing that dirty, diseased mind. Sin! You have no sin. Let's see who is without sin past the fierce tone. Go ahead and mock me. You pull your pranks, make fun of my ways. It suits you. You're just one big joke. Don't you call me that. Should I start calling a duck a pig again? I'm your sister. How can you treat me like this? That's it, Jeanette. Run away from the truth. I'll take care of everything, as always.
Please, come in. I do apologize for my sister's crassness if it made you uncomfortable. She's unabashedly scandalous, but in the club business, I suppose that kind of personality's a necessary evil. Therese Vorman, yes. I'm the proprietor of this club, and the only person in this city whose good side it's in your best interest to stay on. What brings you to Santa Monica? Tongue's exile is self-imposed, I assure you. But then, what reason would I have not to hate that loathsome Nosferatu scoundrel? Bloody Nosferatu. They're so unclean. He meddles in my affairs. He's a bad influence on my sister, and she on him. If you were in my place, would you let him compromise your authority? You most certainly would not. I'd quite like it if I never had to hear that name again. Why would I do that? Let him think I mean to kill him. That way I don't have to worry about him sabotaging everything. Do you realize how his subterfuge makes me look to the Camarilla? Tongue and his co-conspirators' actions ruined my chance at partnership in a crucial piece of property. I do have several other promising ventures, and one in particular has been, to say the least, an ordeal. I'd be willing to put the word out that my grievances with Tongue have been swept under the rug, but in return, you'll have to help me remove a particularly burdensome spirit from a property I'm looking to invest in. Oh, I forgot. You're still new to this. Allow me to break you in. Yes, ghosts exist. Werewolves, mummies, and I'd expect a whole lot of other things I've never seen share the night with us. Rumor is that a personal item of a ghost's may be used to draw it out or excise it from its haunt. While I don't put a lot of stock in hearsay, it's my last option. So I want you to go to the Ocean House Hotel, find an item of the spirits, and bring it back. Oh, I fully intend to do so. You'll find that dealing with me on the whole is appreciably more predictable than dealing with some of the egomaniacs that are my peers. So long as our business doesn't go sour, my word is gold. Before I forget, take this. The only way to reach the Ocean House this time of night is through a tunnel in the sewers. You'll need that key to open the gate for that tunnel. If you'll excuse me, I've got situations to set straight. He meddles in my affairs. He's a bad influence on my sister, and she on him. If you were in my place, would you let him compromise your authority? You most certainly would not. I'd quite like it if I never had to hear that name again. Jeanette is the freak show I keep around to lure in curiosity seekers. She's very good with the clientele, but her business skills are approximate to those of a 4-year-old with a $1 bill and a 5 and dime. Rumor is that a personal item of a ghost may be used to draw it out or excise it from its haunt. While I don't put a lot of stock in hearsay, it's my last option. So I want you to go to the Ocean House Hotel, find an item of the spirits, and bring it back.
Come here. I want to whisper something in your ear. Fuck off!
Hey, you. Really? Well, that's just a little too creepy for me. Right. Goodbye.
Lovely evening.
Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard after their attempts to hail the ship proved futile. Coast Guard officials are releasing very little information right now, but have identified the vessel as the Elizabeth Dane. No word as of yet as to the whereabouts of the crew, though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the Elizabeth Dane to assist them in their search.
Hey, Mayor, it's Mike. Look, I gotta head downtown for a few days, maybe longer. If Reno calls, tell him to meet me down there. We got something to discuss, apparently. I'll be at Milton's place in the Skyline Lofts 2A. Sorry, baby. I'll explain everything later.
Though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast early this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was
1,000 lowly suicides.
Hello, LA. You're up way past your bedtime, aren't you? Hope you've slipped in.
Hey there, hot stuff.
If you're new to town.
So what'd you find out about money?
Listening to the Dove of Night. The only girl who will spend the night with you and me first thing in the morning.
All right, then. I'll have to call in some bounty hunters to help me find Muddy and a couple of other jumpers. Thanks for all your help.
Caller, you've got the first shot at Deb.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Here you are. See you around, then. If you ever find yourself or a loved one locked up, please call.
Why are you up so late?
The sewers are all running with 1,000 lowly suicides.
Hi. This life's been hard on him. Both of us. But he forgives me. We're leaving soon. I have some family with a place out in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. It should be okay for us to stay out there, as long as we're together. Thank you.
I brought my Lily back. She told me all about what happened. I don't know why you helped us, but your blood's worth bottling. I'll never let her go again. Thank you. I'm gonna be getting out of LA soon. Too dangerous here. Rosa told us something big's about to happen, and I don't want to be here when the jack comes out of the box. Take that for what you will.
Do you know who the head vampire is? If the head vampire dies, we all become human again, right?
I don't know what I'm saying. Forget what I say. Murder. Yes, the killer is dead. He moves soon and travels to the heart of the Angeles, to the home of the stars, and then returns fulfilled and empty once again. I don't know what I'm saying. Forget what I say. Then ask again.
Not even a knock? I could have been undressing. And who knows what I would have had to do to you. You're here to see Her Royal Majesty Queen Victoria, aren't you? Really? Do I often pogo stick through your thoughts wearing nothing but a smile? Be honest. Or don't. What all swayed kittens do. On hands and knees, you lap up the milk of me. And we purr, kitten, like dragonflies buzzing around frog bellies. So, Therese told me you might be back with something for her. Do you have it with you? I'm not just some silly doll, you know. All my life, my sisters made me out to be a joke. She told you I was an embarrassment, didn't she? That I couldn't tie my shoes, let alone hold on to something for her. Is that it? She's always belittling me. She's the smart one. She's the favorite. She's the successful one. Well, it's not fair. I'm not a fool. This club's success is just as much my doing as it is hers. Do you understand what it's like to have your own flesh and blood ripping you apart on a daily basis for 2 lifetimes? Can you? Fine, you hold on to it. Since you're so willing to brave that big spooky place for my darling sister, how about doing a teensy tiny favor for little troubled me? Do you know Gallery Noir down the street? I happen to know there's a charity event being organized there. Lots of influential Santa Monicans slithering in for token appearances. But there's one thing they don't know. The whole event's been set up by a kindred trying to establish their own power clique in our city. And we can't let that happen, can we? So I need some brilliant young upstart to spoil the milk. I promise this won't take long. Take this knife. Give the paintings in the gallery a good slashing. Don't get caught, and don't turn it into a massacre. And steal the charity box, would you? Buy yourself something velvet. I'm sure Therese will be thrilled to honor your agreement when you get back. But in the meantime, get to the museum and ruin those paintings. Then pay me a visit. I want to hear all about it. Hurry up. I can only amuse myself for so long. Oh, and there was something about the paintings. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well, have fun, Duckling.
minute there. I'm afraid you are committing a 351. That's trespassing on private property. I'm gonna have to ask that you vacate the premises immediately, or I'm afraid I'll be forced to radio this in. Huh? What call are you talking about there, miss? And who might you be then, missy? Easy, missy. I have a Class C weapon license that allows me to carry a blunt striking implement for defensive purposes. When things get hairy out here, and believe me, they do, I pull out the midnight special. Now, we don't want that, do we? Bad boys, bad boys!
I just remembered I'm not gay.
Hey, you. Really? Well, that's just a little too creepy for me. I guess I'm going to the blood bank then. I had enough of this place anyway. This place.
You. What were you thinking? The museum. That was my event! Did you think I wouldn't find out? Shut up. I thought I could control my sister as long as Tongue was out of the picture, but nothing's changed. I should have expected that you'd succumb to Jeanette's influence like all the others, but how dare you! Don't lie to me! Jeanette already confessed she tricked you into doing it. It was probably all Tongue's idea. I'll deal with them later. But that's still no excuse for you ruining my museum. Excellent. I'll take that. However, Jeanette claimed you did it for her. But let's say I believe you. After all, you've acted decently and rationally up to now. I imagine you'd still like me to call off the feud. There's only one problem. If Tongue gets word that I threatened Jeanette, which he most certainly already has, it's not likely he'll believe me. So, in order to call off the feud, you're going to have to convince Jeanette to forgive me first. I made some threats against my sister. Idle threats, involving fire and her impious satin sheets. She took them quite seriously, and is avoiding me. I want to meet with her, and explain that they were said in the heat of the moment. I asked her to meet me at the Surfside Diner, to reconcile, but I'm busy with the club and my other endeavors. I'd like you to go to the diner and promise her that I don't plan to take any action against her. Wait for her in the back booth, near the phones. For all her unwholesome diversions and irritating disruptions, I should be less tolerant of her. She is my sister, however, and I suppose I'm obligated to forgive her her trespasses. I did sire her, after all. Please, be quick about it.
Freeze, motherfucker! Freeze, motherfucker! Where you go? Stop, man! Where you go? Freeze, motherfucker! Freeze, motherfucker! Where you going, Hey! Freeze, motherfucker! Hey! Stop, man! Hey! Stop, man! Hey! Where you going, man? Hey, where you going, man? Freeze, motherfucker!
about your refusal to take part in her design. We suspect those men to kill you. But I'm going to make sure. Drop by. She's crazy! Help!
You. I'm really sorry it had to end this way. I truly am. You seemed promising, but you've been tainted by the stink of my sister's schemes. And now I'm going to make sure she never double-crosses me again.
Don't listen to her. She'll kill us both. Save me and I'll help you find Bertram. I swear. Shut up, Jeanette.
I warned you to stay away from Tung. He's turned you against me. I always looked out for you, but you couldn't stand my success. You had to meddle, didn't you? I didn't want it to end like this, but you forced me!
I wasn't sticking my fingers in anyone's pie, dear sister.
Of course you weren't. Just like you weren't working with him. Is it any different than the way you treated Father? Father? Oh, Therese. You poor deluded dear. I treated Father exactly the way he deserved to be treated. And he treated you like a...
You don't say a word about Bob.
Your heart still belongs to Daddy after all these years, eh, sister? At least he loved me.
You take that back, you bitch! You never gave me any credit for anything, Therese. I was the one calling the shots. Bertram was dancing on my leash. How does it feel to know that I beat you?
Isn't it obvious? I'm about to rid the night of this deviant, backstabbing whore. Do you realize that despite her condition, she still fornicates with Kine, no less? So despicable. So unclean. You're one to talk, dear sister. Or should I say Daddy's little girl? Do you want to know just how depraved the Baron of Santa Monica can be? Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world to think you're a saint. When you thought I was asleep, I used to hear Father come in at night. I heard him whisper how much he loved you in your ear before he... Don't finish that sentence, or you're dead.
Don't you want to hear what happened? How she became the pillar of the community she is today?
Shut up. Just shut up!
Don't try and stop me. I've had to overlook her treachery, her seduction, relations with my enemies, and the consequences of it. But I won't endure her any longer. Endure me? Dear sister, you've done everything you could to smother me. You love to bury me in your closet, along with all your other skeletons. I'm the good girl. You're the wicked one. You've done nothing but plot against me, when I had our best interests at heart. And despite that, I've always covered up your mistakes. I've taken care of you. And this is how you repay me? Taken care of me. You've done nothing but keep me down, blame me for every mistake. Did you expect me to let you rule my life until the end of time? No, sister. You've had it coming since our last sunrise. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't for me, you would have never survived this long. Remember? They tried to separate us, but I refused. I chose this life and brought you into it so that we could stay together. Obviously, you've forgotten. She's a control freak. People, things, emotions. If she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal. You'll rub up against anything that'll take you in for the night. Then when you're stuffed and bored, you bite the hand that fed you. I don't think that's possible. How could I ever think to trust her again? Trust me? Who could trust you after what happened with Father Dearest? Father loved me. I was a good girl. I always did what I was told. You always hated that he loved me. You disobeyed him. You brought men home when he wasn't there. You were an awful daughter to him.
Father came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese. Because I'd fallen asleep in her bed. Don't listen to her. She's lying. Therese walked in while he was there, and she saw me lying with him, and so she went to the closet and pulled out his hunting shotgun, loaded it with deer shot, and blew his mind out all over the silly clown wallpaper. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable. As I recall, he died with a smile on his face. Why? How will this time be any different? Therese doesn't like to share. Jeanette's irresponsible. She's undependable. A venture like mine requires class and distinction, which is something a pigtailed, face-painting harlot does not lend very well. You do have a way with words, sister. You're right. I'm not in the same class, am I? I mean, murderers are so respectful these days. More responsibility. So that she can ruin every opportunity I give her? Of course. You're the only one who can secure zoning permits and shake hands. I'd never be able to keep up. But I only do it for attention and out of love. You do it because you're vindictive and jealous, and you deserve it. If she would stop treating me like a child, if she would start behaving like a rational adult. Yes, there was a time. When I was a child, I didn't have many friends. I suppose Jeanette was the only one. We never did get to go out of the house much. Father wouldn't allow us. He said we'd get hurt, so we stayed inside and we imagined our own worlds. And we spent so much time there together, ruling over those places. Those were happier times. Before we grew apart. I never did. No, I guess I don't. Jeanette, if I were to offer you equal control in Santa Monica, would you quit consorting with Tongue? I'll stop working against you with him. But since I've got him in my pocket already, there's no reason for me not to pay him a little visit once in a while, when he can be of use. That's not a bad plan. There's just one more thing. I want to be in charge of Santa Monica, but only publicly. I want you to continue to convince others that our relations are strained. That way, we know who our enemies are. I agree. Take it. I'd hate to look at it again and think of what almost transpired. I suppose now that Jeanette and I have settled our differences, I'll call off the feud with Tongue. Bertram's hiding in an empty oil tank at the old gas station. I'll tell him to expect a visitor, and I'll ask him to be extra nice. Please give Santa Monica's regards to the prince, and keep your tongue tied about what happened tonight, or we'll have to kill you.
Look who finally made it. Thought you'd never find me, did you, sweetheart? I've gotten good at knowing when I'm wanted. Oh, so you're who I'm waiting on. Someone must have faith in you, Cupcake. That, or they want you out of the picture. Interesting choice either way. The one and only. But don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are. News travels down the Kindred grapevine like wildfire. And that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel. And you in the middle. How interesting. Oh, you did you? Well, I wasn't worried. So why did you need to find me? What did you need? Oh, never mind. The warehouse, though. I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on. The Sabbat, jeez, you are green. It's like this. We're all monsters, like it or not. I'm not gonna say the Sabbat are the evil vampires, because none of us are the good guys here. But the Sabbat, they glorify their monstrous nature. They refuse to hide it, and go out of their way to show it. They're also brainless and reckless. They have a life expectancy of a vampire fruit fly. As far as I can tell, the humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers. Yeah, the Sabbat like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the Masquerade. Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down.
motherfucker! Motherfucker! Come on out! Freeze, motherfucker!
Freeze, motherfucker!
there!
Come out. What was there, you freeze, motherfucker?
Who's there?
Hey, stop, man! Hey, stop, man!
motherfucker!
What was that?
Freeze, motherfucker!
The warehouse. Your handiwork, I presume? Hopefully no Sabbat saw you escape. They can be somewhat antagonistic. I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace? A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred. Hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. She's undoubtedly Malkavian, Or should I say, they are undoubtedly Malkavian. Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Nice work, Cupcake. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight. Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why? No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition. What do you need? That was just silly vampire politicking, Cupcake. No more. You get used to that kind of thing. Of course it did. As if vampires and women both weren't insecure enough. Get them together in one Malkavian body, and look what happens. Yeah, no kidding. Now that the Camarillas moved into L.A., Therese wants the title of Prince of Santa Monica. I guess she saw me as a threat. Funny thing is, I could care less. I wouldn't want to be the Prince of Terre Haute. I leave that headache to the Ventru. Besides, there's only like 4 vampires in all of Santa Monica. Some kingdom. I had my suspicions. But an interesting specimen. But a pain in my dead ass for sure. Like what? Clans are just bloodlines, you know. A common root shared. Mages. I don't have any reason to trust them. They're creepy, and I think they like it that way. But to be honest, I don't hear much about the Tremere. There's a few in LA, but all in all, there's not that many of them. Yeah. The Anarchs. Yeah, I respect what they do, strenuous liberty and all that jazz, but they're kidding themselves. Wherever there's an ounce of power to be had, there'll be people dicking each other over. You think the Camarilla invented that? From what I hear, he's a likable sort, and that's a problem. Nines Rodriguez is the kind of guy you want on your side, and more kindred go Anarch every day because of him.
In the last days of the last age of mankind, repent you wicked and atone in these your last hours.
sweet girl you sent up made the other one seem like sour milk. Real bleeder, lovely thing. Least, she used to be. But she'll live on in your heart, won't she? Need a bag of her?
Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard after their attempts to hail the ship proved futile. Coast Guard officials are releasing very little information right now, but have identified the vessel as the Elizabeth Dane. No word as of yet as to the whereabouts of the crew, though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the Elizabeth Dane to assist them in their search. We'll have more on the story as it breaks. Art criticism or vandalism? Paintings on display at Santa Monica's Gallery Noir were slashed by an intruder who evaded capture by security. The paintings were estimated to be worth nearly $250,000. They were to be auctioned in a charity event tomorrow night. A robbery gone bad at the Surfside Diner left several dead after the attempts by the would-be robbers were thwarted by a diner patron turned vigilante. Witnesses saw the vigilante run from the diner after they were alerted by the sound of gunfire inside. Police have stated that vigilantism will not be tolerated and that the party responsible will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. A massive explosion rocked Santa Monica tonight, sending several fireballs into the sky and prompting a lockdown of the warehouse district where the explosions took place. Early reports suggest that the warehouse destroyed in the explosion was being used in a weapons smuggling operation, and that the source of the detonation possibly came from a military-grade explosive being stored at the site. Authorities say it is still too early to speculate on whether there is some terrorist connection to these events, though they have not ruled out the possibility. Stay tuned to Channel 3 for further updates. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Palm Beach, scientists searching for prey. Crime scene. Gonna have to ask you to step back, please. Some lunatic broke into the gallery and slashed up the paintings. Everyone's a critic these days, huh? Oh, I'm busy.
never forget.
Do you know who the head vampire is? If the head vampire... Okay, but first I had another question. How about blood transfusions? If I get a full blood transfusion, I can become human again, right? Unicorn blood? I'll buy it. I'm gonna go get some money. Come back in a little while.
Easy. No one. Bubble. Murder. No. I wasn't here when it...
I don't know why. Then ask.
Let's drain it. Let's take it and leave it out for the sunrise.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Think you could blow up our warehouse and get away with it? Ah, lick.
Let's pull out its eyes and its tongue and its teeth. I want its teeth.
Camarilla fuck. Boys, I think we could all use a little entertainment. Those of you sitting in the first few rows will get wet. Son of a bitch!
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us. What are you gonna do? Shoot us?
This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with a Sabbat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you. Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines. Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs. Want me to go get him? You do what you want. Me? I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story. This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.
saw you coming from down the street, and I started praying to the Lord to find it in his heart to send you to me. And hallelujah if he didn't come through for me. Welcome to Fat Larry's Truck America. I am the proprietor and salesman of the month several years in a row. The ladies call me, oh God! But you can call me Fat Larry with a F-A-T, cause there's more of me to love. Now, that is a legitimate question, but a better question to be, what don't I got in this truck? Cause at Fat Larry's, my motto is, everything's got a price, but I probably know somebody who can get it anyway. Nah, that's what I like to hear. But it's like this. I say my best stuff for select clientele. Now that don't mean I don't appreciate your business. It's just, you know, business.
Yes? May I help you?
Mr. Milton, you know who this is, and I do hope you realize that we're still on for tonight. Meet me at the agreed-upon location across from the bar by the underpass. Bring your associate, Mr. Durbin, as it is a two-man job that I am proposing. With any luck, the two of you are already on your way, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.
I knew you'd talk to me. I swear you were all, like, totally drawn to me. I'm surprised I don't know you. I usually meet all the LA vampires out on the scene. Not a lot of you out tonight, which is weird, because I don't know of any parties going on. No, come on. It's totally cool. I'm Patty. Seriously, everyone knows me. Besides, I just wanted to ask you if you've seen someone. His name is Kent Allen Ryan. He's a toreador. Really good looking, dresses really well, like all Prada usually. Oh, well, he's pretty powerful. He's probably, like, too far behind the scenes for you to know about him. Maybe you know some of the people who work for him. No, don't go. I really need to find him. Really. Maybe you can ask around. Oh, look. I haven't seen him in days. He said he'd come see me again. He promised. I might age. He promised I wouldn't get thirsty. Well, fine. You're just some ugly fledgling bitch. I've hung out with way more powerful vampires than you'll ever know. I wouldn't drink your gutter blood if you were the last vampire on Earth.
Are you undressing me with your eyes? Got a picture in your head? Good. That's as close as you're ever gonna come to seeing me naked.
Everybody comes in here's got to have a short house rules. Inhibition's the first thing to go. 2 more of these and you'll be telling me your nastiest, dirtiest stories. I am your beat priestess, and it's time to confess. Venus was her name. Got anything you want to confess? Oh, yeah? I've been waiting for someone like you to come in here. You see, I've got this situation that's gotten a little out of hand, and I need someone to inform some people that they won't be getting paid this month. Intrigued yet? Well, the parking lot next to the Empire Hotel. Couple of guys, Russian accents, bit thick. I need you to tell them Venus doesn't have their money. That's it. That's it. I expected you'd bite. Empire Hotel. Tell them I'm broke. You can run, right? Never mind. Just don't go starting any street fights, alright? These guys are connected. Anyhow, a lot of people have yet to confess to the beat priestess. Later, darling.
What's the hops, bro?
I beg your pardon.
Need company?
this money, you die. Efficient beat. Money. You die.
What? I can't hear you! Let's talk in my office! Well, you certainly did better than my bouncer did. Poor dear can't turn his neck to the right anymore. Already had a call from Boris. Wasn't too happy about tonight's son of a bitch. Say, how would you like to get into the club business, hmm? Well, to start this club, I have to take out a significant loan from a king bastard by the name of Boris, and every time I haven't been able to make the monthly plus interest, the bastard takes what he feels is a suitable late fee. I've got a club to run, so I'll be blunt. I refuse to fuck that fat misogynistic old man one more time to hold on to the club. So I need someone to eliminate him. Do this, and I'll make you a silent partner. He's at the Empire Hotel. Always has a few of the fiercest bully boys standing round trying to out-sneer each other. He's got a short temper, and more than likely he's been drinking for the last 4 hours. Here, key to the penthouse level. One, two, three, shots, peep! Get out of your seats and onto that floor, you wankers! Boris?
Hello there. I tell you what, if the Pope, the President, and my high school history teacher all show up in the next few minutes, I'll make out with you right in front of them.
It's a night out, huh?
Greetings, neonate. Might I assume you received my invitation? I have been looking forward to meeting you for quite some time. Strauss. Maximilian Strauss. I am the regent of this chantry. Welcome. Ah, yes, forgive me. I forget that you are not embraced within the pyramid. We share the same blood, you and I, but there is much you have yet to learn about our clan. Yes, this new life in which you find yourself undoubtedly seems strange. I'm sure you have many questions, young one. I will answer those which I am able. The pyramid is the social structure of our clan, with each level of advancement watched over by the next. There are apprentices here at the chantry who are my charges, and I have a lord who watches over me and other local regents, and so on. In most cases, Tremere are very selective about who they embrace and how it is done. There are traditions and laws that we adhere to, so the circumstances of your embrace were, let us say, unconventional. Therefore, you are outside the pyramid. Such things are possible, young one, but you would have to prove your worth to the clan before it would even be a consideration. Tremere guard their secrets well. Perhaps it is something we will speak of later. A chantry is a local gathering place for those of the Tremere clan. I live here, as do apprentices from time to time. A regent is the leader of a chantry, as well as a teacher to young Tremere apprentices who are studying the mysteries of our clan. Let me give you some advice, young one. Your survival in kindred society will often depend on your ability to find out yourself what is going on around you. Remember that well. As for what is going on here in downtown, the word on everyone's lips, kindred or kind, seems to be epidemic. It seems that disease has been spreading at an alarming rate throughout the downtown population. Considering our particular appetites, the local kindred are more than concerned about these developments. Yes, indeed. My opinion is that the local Anarchs are responsible for these outbreaks. Their precipitous indulgence of certain passions often leads to such things. Ergo, their need for the watchful eye of the Camarilla. The Camarilla? It is merely a kindred sect that exists to protect its members from the outside world. There are specific codes of behavior that we abide by in order to ensure the continuance of our species. It is nothing more and nothing less. Of course. What is it you would like to know? Surely. What else would you like to know? No. There are many independent clans who are not aligned with the Camarilla, and the Sabbat is another sect of various vampire clans whose beliefs are very different than our own. Unsavory sorts, to say the least. I understand you have already run afoul of them. Surely. What else would you like to know? The Anarchs feel that they don't need the structure and discipline of the Camarilla. I feel that they pose a threat, both to those loyal to the Camarilla and to themselves. Most are mere children and need our guidance. Surely. What else would you like to know? LaCroix is a prince, neonate, and a Ventru on top of that. even if he weren't as young and indiscriminate as he's already proven himself to be. But I say too much. Let us just say that he and I have differing ideas on the use of power. I have overstepped my bounds. I will say no more. Of course. Hello. Of course. Very well. Again, I recommend speaking with the Anarchs. You can find most of them at the local watering hole, reveling in the vices of their former lives. I believe the place is called The Last Round.
Well, if it ain't the talk of the town, poster child for Camarilla benevolence. What does the prince have his little bitch doing today? Nines is expected. Have some manners and don't wear out your welcome. I'm skeptic. Act up again, and I'll be the one showing your ashes to the door.
Well, looky who made it back in one piece. How's Santa Monica, kiddo? I can't imagine you did. Probably too busy getting pushed around by every vampire with the weakest seniority over you, am I right? That's usually the way the story goes. Same old bullshit politics from when you were alive, huh? Don't it make you just want to rip somebody's spine out? What? You saying that's just me? Politics. The stuff that makes the rich get richer, keeps the powerful in power. Look at why you're out in Santa Monica in the first place. 'Cause Prince LaCroix said so. Because he never thought you'd make it back. If Nines didn't stand up for you in the courtroom, you would have been toast right there, man. Everybody knows that. Public relations, man. Calculated risk. Events were born in the boardroom. When Nines called him out, LaCroix realized it was time to show a carefully measured dose of Camarilla compassion. LaCroix is the boss of the Camarilla in L.A. That's it. LaCroix is a boss. That's rich. Kid, I never answered to no man in life. Now I sure as shit ain't taking orders from a vampire with a suit and a funny name. And when I die again, the devil's gonna have to cut me a deal if he wants my ass. Besides, I never trust anybody with an X in their name. The facts are like this. The Camarilla need us to buy into their bullshit for any of their laws to mean dick. Now, telling free-living vampires they need to be ruled is a hard sell. So, the Camarilla baked up a play nicey plan. Show everyone how great they are, so we'll all just jump on board. The free-living dead, kiddo. A lot of people like to use the label Anarchs. Whatever the hell that means. Anarchs. That's got a nice kick to it, though, huh? Yeah. That's us, so I'm told. What do you want to know? Yeah, I could tell you about the history of the movement, about our struggle. What's any of that shit mean, anyway? Do we want to sit through history class here? I'm no scholar, kid, but I've been around. Seen more and done more than most vampires ever will. I don't know that our situation's ever gonna be easy, but some things you gotta decide are worth fighting for. Fight harder than the other son of a bitch. Every time I yank a jawbone from a skull and ram it in an eye socket, I know I'm building a better future. You bet, kid. As much as anyone is. Nines is a stand-up guy. Takes the politics a little too seriously, though. Came up during the Great Depression, so his brain's wired to that shit. Yeah, I'm not sure the story on most of them. Nines crew. Bruja. Most everyone here has Bruja blood. Moving right along. What's on your mind? What about him? Ah, man, we got our own problems. Let the kin sink or swim.
So that chased you in here, Cammy? Heard Nine saved your ass again. You think LaCroix would have stopped counting his money long enough to get your back, Jack? Cammy, you'd have a whole lot less above your neck if it hadn't been for Nines calling the prince out in that courtroom. Shit. Looks like things worked out for LaCroix anyway. Got himself a new errand girl out of it. As long as you're a tool for some cape, you don't have to say a word to start pissing me off. Cape, Cammy. Camarilla elders, the ones that have been around so long they think candlelight's a keen invention. You're doing their dirty work and you don't even know it. You want an alternative? Being here, that's a step in the right direction. I'm Damsel, den mother of these mothers, and one pissed bitch since LaCroix rolled in. Hey, Cammy. I don't apologize often, but it's just with all the shit that's been going down lately. And on top of it, this plague bearer getting the CDC's attention, maybe I misjudged you is all I'm saying. A plague bearer's a fool that doesn't care who they feed from. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. We can't get sick, but the kind can. And kindred that feed on them start spreading disease. Enough get sick, it's an epidemic. CDC's in town as we speak. Seen, old yeller? May sound cruel, but it's necessary. If someone puts together 2 and 2 as to the real cause of an outbreak of bloodborne diseases, guess what happens? So the plague bearers gotta be found and put down. If the Camarilla really gives a damn, they'll help us out. One of our boys' ghouls, name's Paul, lives nearby in the Skyline Apartments. Been a stranger lately. Looked like death last time he was here. Said he didn't get bit, but maybe you can get more info out of him. Wait, if Paul's not talking, you might want to start questioning the homeless cop. So many have been dying lately that it takes the city a few days to pick up the bodies. Yeah? That goddamn blood witch told you what? He thinks we're responsible for that plague bearer? If I hadn't promised Nines I'd keep my nose clean, I'd go over right now and rip him a new wizard shoot. Magic missile casting motherfucker! What? Yeah? No one like him in this world or the next. He's to the Anarchs what George Washington was to the colonies, what Ho Chi Minh was to Vietnam. He is the LA Anarchs personified. He's a great leader, and yet he's humble. I'd die for it. No one like him in the Camarilla or otherwise. Anything else? Jack? Jack's Jack. Kind of a legend amongst Anarchs. There's not an Anarch in the world who wouldn't stand in rock star awe of Jack. Even the Camarilla doesn't mess with him. He's been around a long time. He used to be a pirate, so the rumor goes. Talk to Jack. He's never short on chat. Yeah? Who the hell does he think he is, coming into town claiming Camarilla authority over the city? We kicked them out 60 years ago. It's like England coming back and telling the U.S. how they should do things. Fuck LaCroix. Yeah? We're about passion, Tammy, and freedom. Things most Camarilla types just can't understand. I could go on and on, but Skelter says it takes too long to get me off my soapbox. Ask him, or even Jack. I mean, geez, it just makes sense. Power should be redistributed amongst all of us, not just a few. Communism would actually work for Kindred, where it fails with humans. It's just common sense, you know? Yeah? It's a sham, a pyramid scheme. Nothing but musty, withdrawn elders waging power struggles for no other reason than to keep their own ass alive for one more century. You think you have any real power in the can? You're kidding yourself. You'd be better off without them. You'll see. Yeah?
You showed up. Good. Here's what I gotta tell you. And so you know, I don't lecture, I don't rap, I'm no bureaucrat. I'm just a guy out of nowhere came to be involved in something 500 times bigger than you and me. You got a right to know the score. The Camarilla, this is the short of it. They operate a lot like a pyramid scheme. There's a bunch of these old-timers at the top with God only knows what plots in mind. They lose their power, they die. They sired more to carry out their plans, and looking for a little power, then those kindred sired for their own schemes, and so on and on and on. It hurts my head just thinking about the mess. What it works out to is this. Only a few people at the top have any real power. LaCroix? Shit. LaCroix's just the guy who backstabbed and wheeled and dealed his way into becoming king son of a bitch of all the local Camarilla. Him and any of the traitors that sided with the Cam want power here, they'll get what's due. Them's fighting words, newbie. But you're young and stupid, so I won't make an example out of you. See, the Camarilla claims all of us are members, even if we don't want to be, which is, of course, the biggest load of horseshit a man ever heard. I learned the way of this world during the Depression. A bunch of old rich bastards screwed the country. But did they suffer? No. The little people suffered. You can't trust the people at the top. The world would be a better place without them. All you can do is get a group of people together who aren't assholes. Find a place to put your feet up and make some examples of the quote-unquote elite to keep the rest the hell out. Everyone's an equal here. The same thing this country used to be about. That's what LA has been. An Anarch free state. The Camarilla was kicked out on their ass a long time ago. We, the Anarchs, didn't want to play their politics anymore. Now LaCroix and crew pop in like they never left? No goddamn way. Their laws don't apply to us. LaCroix represents everything I hate. The Camarilla, stuck-up aristocrats, rich businessmen, crooked politicians. The only place LaCroix belongs is in an urn. No such thing. And again, newbie, don't throw those kind of words around lightly. You're risking a beatdown. I fought to keep LA free since I was embraced. A long time later, I'm one of the only ones left that hasn't bidded or switched sides. The most veteran soldier on the battlefield. I got their meeting right here. Here's what I tell all the new blood. 1, you get careless, that blood will make you into a monster. But you rampage around here, you get put down. 2, don't kill when you feed. No reason to. In this city, there's lots of ways to slake the beast without leaving a trail of dead. 3, the Camarilla's full of shit. 4, watch your back, always. And lastly, learn how to fight. Because a speech ain't gonna save your ass when you're staring down the barrel of a shotgun. After picking your ass up off the pavement back there, yeah, I can tell you don't even know the basics. Hold your hands up like this, and keep your body at an angle. Makes you harder to hit. Keep your thumbs out of your fists and put your weight into your punches. LA's the school of hard knocks, so keep your friends close and your enemies in a barbecue pit. Once you square things with LaCroix, don't give that son of a bitch the time of night. I got my eye on you, kid.
There's this girl who's been making a lot of noise lately. It's a real pain in the ass. She's a ghoul of this one Toreador creep who disappeared. Yeah, Hattie. You must know who I'm talking about then. She used to show up around here and act like she was everybody's best friend. It was all fun and games until her vampire sugar daddy stopped calling. Now she can't get her blood fixed and shit ain't so fun no more. Man, she's been told he was dead. She don't listen. Just asks again louder. Junkie. She's gonna make a scene and get us all some real heat. She's crossed the line. Only time that mouth ain't blabbing is when it's sucking vampire blood. She's gotta disappear. Do this, and we'll keep it our little secret, you hear? All right, have fun. I'd love to do this one myself, but I know it's silent. Just let me know when it's done. Yeah? Yeah? Who do you want to know about? You mean college girl over there? To be honest, she reminds me of those miserable stateside protester fucks from when I was in Nam. But she's on the right side of mystery. Don't let the hippie vibe fool you. Yeah? Who do you want to know about? That's the man there. What righteous kindred. I wish he'd take a more active stance in our fight. Fuck, man, he's Jack. Jack just does his thing. God help anyone who gets in the way.
So I heard you and Nines had a run-in with the Sabbat, huh? And you let them go. Nines must be getting soft. How could you pass up that kind of fun? Well, he was left sireless, too. I don't know, maybe that's it. Well, he's got a thing for the little guy. Someone must have put a word out. Now, here's an interesting little scenario. I'm just gonna run this by you, see what you think. What if the prince got the word out to the Sabbat that you were the one to blow up their warehouse? Hey, it's just a theory, man, but who else is gonna be watching you so closely? Knowing where you're going and all that. It's how the Camarilla works, kiddo, trust me. I've been dealing with these slimy shits for a few centuries now. Sure thing, kiddo, fire away. What's on your mind? What's up?